What's up, friends? This is Manni and welcome to the live server here with a former meta beast, the Ochokochi, becoming exactly that again now with the new Chione or Chion weapon that just arrived on the live server. That is not fully maxed but almost here on the on this account, and that is performing insane. Getting kills over cover like this is always funny. I like this kind of trolling gameplay. Now that's why I love Vortex so much. But this weapon here brings it to a new level because it basically gives you the power of a brawler combined with long range of 600 meters and freezing and so on, and that paired with no need for line of sight. So it's like a jack of all trades kind of weapon, how many of the things we see in war robots these days are, right? If you have a meta robot, it's always going to be fast, it always has massively awesome defenses and offensive capabilities. I think the time where a robot was very specific, had a specific role for one thing, I think that time is no longer here. You look at the Pathfinder robot, it's a support robot that kills the whole enemy team and offers playingly easily support at the same time for every teammate to enjoy. So everything is like a multi-trade kind of thing nowadays when it's supposed to be meta, right? Sometimes Pixonic also releases an item that is never meant to really, you know, carry the matches like crazy, and it's never meant to be the meta bombing item. Hurricane, for example, is one of those weapons, right? It is annoying as heck, it is powerful for how it operates, but you can't carry the match with it, right? You're not gonna be first in terms of damage normally, and you're not gonna be the beacon capper and the brawler and the supporter at the same time. With that weapon, it's just not possible, right? So sometimes weapons are just really specific still, and maybe also robots, but I feel like more and more things coming in are like multi-purpose, right? They cover pretty much anything you want from a weapon or robot, and it's all in there. That being said, the Ochokochi is one of those. Ochokochi was one of those for a while, and then it got nerfed pretty hard. But now with this kind of weapon, let me just show you the encounter against this max level Rook Titan that's right here in front of us. We still have a lot of health on the Ochokochi, but the invincibility time at which it was the robot is basically impossible to be harmed. That time is much shorter now, and it also isn't quite as effective. These weapons have a splash bomb effect, or freeze effect, and you can actually hit even shielded titans like the Rook through his shield with that. And so you're highly effective against pretty much any target. And again, with the range and the no need of line of sight necessarily, depends on the situation, you can do a lot with that, right? And yeah, very interesting. I mean, I like this weapon. It plays very nice and it feels unique. And that is something that I've always criticized war robots for, is that like every weapon or thing is basically like a copy-paste version of something that's already there, and it's just more powerful. I feel like in this case, Pixonic has done something that at least has a different feel to it. It has a completely different feel to firing it, and I like that. Although, be it that the weapon may be too powerful for the moment, we know how this works. It's not going to remain like that forever. And it's not like instantly killing everybody, right? Like the Ultimate Shock Train video. If you haven't yet seen my video from yesterday, probably when I released it, I'm not sure when I released this, about the Ultimate Shock Train, and literally saying war robots is free pay to win, using this as an example. It wasn't meant to be like a bit of a humor and fun thing, but it also wanted to warn about something and raise a red flag that the Ultimate Shock Train on the test server recently definitely provoked in me. But yeah, so that is something that the weapon here thankfully does not do. But it performs well, very strong, and good enough to even bring a robot like the Ochokochi back into probably somewhere around the top 3, top 4, right? I necessarily probably wouldn't have put it in the top 5 anymore previously. Or would I? I haven't thought about this. Maybe it's time for another top 5 best war robots video. Let's do that, right? One of the upcoming videos. I'll put it on my list. So I can't quite say exactly where I would, you know, Swanee boy, where I would have sorted it in, but it definitely comes back now with this weapon setup here. Another thing, on a side note, if you haven't yet seen the other video recently where I've shown you an alternative to war robots that looks very promising called Armor Attack, check it out in the top right corner, and also in the video description pinned comment, there's a link for you. I feel like many of you have seen it, but probably not everybody, and it looks pretty good. It will still take some time before it's ready. I feel like the end of this year somewhere, I heard about this, maybe with some delays, even a little later. We'll see, but it's good to see that something is happening on the, you know, on this franchise, on the genre front, and we can hopefully look forward to some other things, and always have a soft spot for war robots where hopefully, you know, things are making a turn for the better. But that recent Ultimate Shock Train thing, I'm really curious to see how the next test server will have the weapon, if it's gonna be much weaker, if it's going to be much more in line with the rest of the game, or if it stays like that. Remember the Ultimate Ion when it was tested on the test server? I said, man, this thing is completely ruining the thing. It's way too powerful, so much too powerful, and then it came in next test server even more powerful. So yeah, that weird. But anyways, I'm trying to take it with humor nowadays and not take it so seriously anymore. Maybe this is the key to having, to just enjoying it, the game, for what I can enjoy. And there is a lot to enjoy, just not all of it. Some of the things I simply can't agree with. But, yeah. So we're snacking another Rook here. But although it does take quite a while, since, you know, the repair amps on those things, they make it difficult to get the kills, especially with the regular robot. But even Titan weapons aren't really able to bypass resistance on that. And I think I'll say it again, I believe, since it's a fitting topic, I believe that Pixonic's probably going to do something about those repair amps sometime soon. I feel like even Pixonic at this point sees that they might be a bit of a problem. Let's see if it holds true. It's just my estimate. I don't know, but it's just my best guess. But we'll see if that holds true. And also, the thing I've told you about, the subduers getting nerfed soon, similar to what Damper Tamer happened, right? I expect that to also happen sometime soon. Speaking about things happening soon, why shouldn't we... Oh, this is a setup, by the way. Chione Mark II level 6. So a few levels you could upgrade it further with all the immunity amplifiers, beak drone, because protection is really good on it when you have a lot of HP, and the legendary pilot for the Ochokochi. Let's hop into the second match and get to the beacon very quickly. Also something I've always disliked a little bit, that the Ochokochi has so much mobility, being such a strong, powerful tank brawler. It's weird, you can really be first on beacons, even though this is supposed to be like a slower, more tanky robot. But this is how you do it in the Money Town, boys! Yeah! The Skyros came in. Often he probably tries to push people off the ledge here with his Skyros ball, but this time he definitely misjudged the situation there a little bit, and I shot him into a different universe. That is right. That was so freaking satisfying right there, man. I hate those Skyros, man. They just occupy you forever, and they take your time, and they keep you busy because you can't really do damage to them, and they're not really doing damage to you either, but it's just annoying. And this way, this is just how you deal with Skyros balls, okay? That's how you do it. So yeah, deep in the enemy base here, completely messing up or mashing up their spawn. Yeah, let's see how long we can keep that up. Because as soon as the Titans spawn, the regular robots are having a big dip in their performance rating, right? The Titans are a big factor in the game now. And since, yeah, I feel like this cannot be said often enough, I really think Pixonic should consider having a certain safe period for like a time in which Titans can't yet be seen on the battlefield. Because I see people in first 50 seconds dropping their Titan, for example, an Eiffel with the homing bullets, and then just basically, or with the new flamethrowers, and then just basically ending the game for everyone on the other side, on both sides, even for that matter. And I think this is something Pixonic should really consider. Maybe coming up with a few ideas how they could potentially do it. That Titans are obviously still there and have their place in the game, but can't impact the game just as this early, right? Maybe that there's a certain timer that has to run by that, you know, and only after that you can spawn a Titan or something. Because it is still a game called War Robots, and the regular robots should be the majority of the gameplay. And yeah, the Titans really have the capacity to change it and ruin that a bit. Anyways, another thing I would like to see for War Robots going forward would be a heavy version of Cinder. I don't know why they have never done that. Exciting. Why do we not have a heavy version of Cinder in the game? Because there are only two types of weapons for Titans. We can call it light and heavy, or we can call it alpha and beta. But there has never been a heavy version of Cinder, and that is very surprising because many Titans utilize not just one type of weapon category, right? For the Minos, it doesn't matter. He can run 3 times Cinder. But a Luchador, for example, maybe some players out there would like to run some Cinders with the Luchador, but they will find out that the heavy version slot can't equip a heavy version equivalent to Cinder. So I feel like this is something that we could really see in the game. A nice addition is that wouldn't break the game. That wouldn't be like, yeah, but it would be a nice addition, and I think one that should be in the game. Now, I'm firing at Titans. You see here the time has, the match has progressed to the point where all I can shoot now are Titans. And so this is basically the time when regular robots stop having any effect in the game anymore. When the Titans all running around with like 160 defense points or whatever, I mean, I can kill the Nodens, that's good. It's a more fragile Titan that I can actually hurt. But if I shoot at that Bedweir down there, the Luchador, it's like I'm firing not at all. Like it feels like you're not even at all firing, and you may as well just give up on it. You know, scrap your robot and hop into a Titan, because once that time happens, it's Titan only play basically, and there's not too many robots that can still perform. One of them is the Lynx. The Lynx has the ability to execute Titans when they're at low HP and potentially taking away like 300, 400, 500k HP still in one hit. Very nice, but for that the Titan has to be lower HP. And so I'm attacking the enemy base. I think maybe in a one-on-one against this Eiffel I could probably win, because he's using the older weapons. The older Zapper weapons from the Mutant Titans, and they have a long recharge now. And so with that, I really think I could probably beat him easily in a one-on-one, but it's not a one-on-one. There's more and another Titan here. But also the Muhammad's not exactly the most tanky Titan, so I think I could fight him, but blah. Both of them are flying at the same time and are basically no targets for me. Either they're flying and are in stealth, or they're flying and having like 500k boost HP for free that I have to drop before I can even do some damage, and then as soon as I begin firing, the guy is just right back into his next ability. Muhammad has a shield meanwhile. Yeah, I feel like I'm in a bad situation, but at least I'm occupying 2 powerful enemy Titans for a really, really, really long time here. And that should, and I even held one of the beacons there. Now maybe I can capture the other in the meantime. And that should give my team the edge on the other side of the map, to have less pressure on them. But it seems like my team is not able to compete with the one of the enemy here. And so my efforts with keeping it in the game are basically wasted there. I didn't want to jump into my Titan, and with the Rook and the flamethrowers, I know I could beat most Titans easily, but yeah, when you do it often enough, I just wanted to run this Ochokochi and see how far I can get. Maybe I can even take down these Titans, right? And I think in a one-on-one could have killed that Eiffel good, but this 2-on-1 was a little too much for my robot. Anyways, what do you think about these weapons, and do you agree that it brings the Ochokochi back to the meta? See you around the next video. Manni signing off. Bye-bye.